And here we go. Welcome to Just Playing Crypto. And wouldn't you know it, them China peoples, they done it again. They want to go say, well, we're banning Bitcoin for the 400th time. And we're serious this time. Okay, China. Okay. So that was the apparent cause for the price action that happened early this morning, middle of the night, as always, right? And apparently they're blaming it on China banning Bitcoin again. Anyways, it was just to cover up some stuff they were doing on the market. As you can plainly see, we're looking at live coin watch and the Bitcoin price. The price fell right around 3 a.m., right? It looks like here with the trading volume and the activity that they just basically turned off the exchanges or did whatever magic they did behind the scenes. And then it resumed again at like 5:30. And of course, during that time where there's no trading happening, everything tanks. It doesn't have anything to do with China. But okay, we'll just say China did it. Anyways, that will lead us back into setting limits and stop losses. I mean, obviously, we had a big turn down in just a couple of days ago on Monday. And so it's a little late now. But I did talk about taking profits and stop losses a bit in this video here 6 days ago. I did. And then before that, I talked about if you don't know how to set stop orders or how to set a buy order limit. So when something that you're looking at hits a certain price, it automatically buys and you don't have to be there watching the market waiting for it. You don't have to be there watching the market when some China FUD supposedly comes out or something. You already have your orders in place. And so I talked about that in taking profit, when to HODL, and I had also talked about that in 1 week ago under news. Spot limit and stop orders on Coinbase Pro is what I was using right there. And also for anybody who follows Twitter stuff, I have a Twitter account, and I had retweeted Sheldon the Sniper's how to stop loss video. I think he did yesterday or the day before, which again goes through and explains how to stop loss. Now, for the way that these guys are doing it on Crypto Banter is essentially they're harnessing every little bit of profit that they possibly can, which is fine. And obviously you'll be able to accumulate more Bitcoin or more Tether or US dollars or whatever you're looking at getting. You will be able to do that, setting these stop losses really short. And anytime the market takes a little bit of a correction, you just automatically sell. The thing is that, a lot of times the market will dump and then pump. So if you're not there to buy right away, you could be buying back into your position above what you bought into it before, right? You bought into something at 42,000, say Bitcoin, and you set your stop loss at 41,000 because you're thinking Bitcoin's going to go up. And Bitcoin goes to 39,000, so your stop loss gets wiped out, but you're at work. And then Bitcoin continues up to 46, 47,000. So now you've kept your investment, but now if you want to buy your Bitcoin back, you have to buy it in at a premium, which is why a lot of people don't use stop losses in crypto. Another reason we don't use stop losses in crypto is if you're worried about the tax implications, because technically, according to what a lot of people say, that is a taxable event when you do a stop loss, even if you go into a stable coin. I don't necessarily agree with some of that, but we'll just say that's the case, is that every time that you sell, it's a taxable event. So yes, you are keeping all of those gains. When, say, Bitcoin goes up 300% and then dumps 200%, you're keeping all of those gains, but then you will also owe capital gains taxes on that when you do that. So typically what most people do is they just buy stuff and hold on to it. And then when they're ready to take profits, they take a little bit, so the taxes aren't so bad. And you try to do it as far out as you can. If it's beyond a year, your taxes are half, okay? So that's what's going on there. But if you're in Bitcoin at 40,000, we'll say, you bought in recently, and Bitcoin goes to 50,000, you may want to use a stop loss, right? And then when China wants to ban Bitcoin again for the third time this month, then you're covered, right? So, what is the outlook for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? It hasn't changed in months. Everything is good. And the very fact that Bitcoin is held up to the assault that it's been under this week, that's good news. That's good stuff. But this here where you have this vertical line where there is no trading activity to another vertical line where the trading activity picks up, and Bitcoin happens to fall in that, that's a completely artificial event. Completely. There is no question. You don't even have to go digging anywhere. It's just trading volume on Bitcoin doesn't just go to zero for a few hours, okay? That is completely unnatural. But we'll take a look at the China story anyway, and we'll find out about what China has going on, what they have to say about that. China's top regulators banned crypto trading and mining, sending Bitcoin tumbling. Okay. We're going to talk about this is the only thing that happened in China that would affect the market, and it did affect the market, okay? We're going to talk about the Bitcoin network. 70% at least of the hash rate came from miners in China because apparently their power was cheap. I mean, they make all the computer chips over there for these miners. So the miner, what would cost you at the time $150 for an ant miner, a basic ant miner in America, probably cost them $20 or $10 in China, right? Because they build them there. Obviously now with the mining craze, prices have skyrocketed and all this stuff, but mining was cheap in China, okay? So what happened is we can look at, this goes back for the last year. What happened here, we had our Bitcoin tumble after our little Wyckoff accumulation. And then May 19th, May 17th, May 18th, somewhere in there, China announced and instantly kicked all of the miners out. There wasn't any grace period. It wasn't by such and such date you have to be done. It was an instant ban. And anybody, so everybody had to pack up right away. And the hash rate went from like 200 billion hash rate. And at the end of it, it fell down to 50 billion hash rate, right at its lowest point. So that's a massive, massive, massive hit to the hash rate of Bitcoin, processing all the transactions. And so, of course, the price stayed pretty stagnant around 30,000. Great time to get in. But as the miners relocated and miners that are in other places of the world managed to get equipment, the hash rate also lowered to a point where it did not take as many computers to reach the same potential and mine the Bitcoin. People in the mining industry were making twice as much because the hash rate had went down so much. Okay, so it was a great thing. It's also a great thing that China doesn't have the mining anymore. And through all of this, Bitcoin did not miss a beat. The price stayed pretty, 30 grand. Great accumulation time. It was actually a blessing because when I got in originally, it was closer to 40,000. So I was able to actually lower my buy-in. So it was great. It lasted a little longer than I probably would have liked it, but, Bitcoin didn't miss a beat. And the miners, as you can see here in this chart, are fired back up to where they're almost back up to, they are back up to where they were, 6 months ago or so. They're back up to where they were in January. And so that's it. That's all that China has. China does not allow their people to have anything. So they didn't have Bitcoin anyway. Maybe their companies were allowed to trade Bitcoin, maybe. But they rolled out their digital yuan. They roll out all these other draconian things. And hey, guys, if China doesn't like it and China bans it, you want to have as much of that as possible. That means that whatever they're banning, you need to make sure you hold on to because that is your sovereignty. They are the most wicked, evil dictatorship on the planet that I'm aware of, that everyone just seems to be fine with because, hey, we get cheap GI Joes and lollipops from China, as long as we can soak up all this slave labor that China has going on, then we don't apparently have a problem with the human rights violations and all of the stuff going on over there. All right. I think that it's great. All the miners are out of China. I think that it's great. China wants to ban Bitcoin. I think that all that's great. The only thing that I'm sad for is the people. But, maybe the people will wake up and figure out that, they're not in such a great, happy place and maybe do something about it. I don't know. I don't live there. It's not my deal. All right. Alls I know that if China doesn't like it, and China wants to get rid of Bitcoin because of sovereignty, they also want to get rid of freedom of speech and all these other things. That means that these are things that you need to focus on and actually have and hodl, right? You want to keep your sovereignty, you want to keep your freedom and your right to pursue happiness, and you want to keep your Bitcoin, guys. You want to keep your Bitcoin. China doesn't like it, then we love it. China's top regulators ban crypto trading and mining, sending Bitcoin tumbling. Had nothing to do with it. I showed you the chart. Okay, had nothing to do with their article. Our article just came out 42 minutes ago. Nobody knew what was going on because there was no news. Obviously, it comes out after the fact. Whatever the excuse is going to be, that their trading volume went to basically nothing at 3 o'clock in the morning. What is the excuse? Tell us, IMF. Tell us, CIA. What is the excuse? Oh, China's banning it, of course. All those wealthy people in China who are trading Bitcoin. Bitcoin's cracked down on that stuff every single year, and we'll look at that too. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So the article says, from Reuters, CIA headquarters there, Reuters, China's most powerful regulators, who, name them, on Friday intensified a crackdown on cryptocurrencies with a blanket ban on all crypto transactions and mining, hitting Bitcoin and other major coins and pressuring crypto and blockchain-related stocks. Who is trading this stuff over there? Nobody. 10 agencies, including the central bank, financial, securities, and foreign exchange regulators, vowed to work together to root out illegal cryptocurrency activity. The first time the Beijing-based regulators have joined forces to explicitly ban all cryptocurrency-related activity. As opposed to harvesting organs from people on the street, I suppose, whatever. So the central bank is in on that. Now, for anyone who may be unawares, all the central banks of all these countries, they are all linked together. So, yeah, it's just, they want to do this to the rest of the world. They want to block out cryptocurrencies. It's a huge threat because if people actually are able to build wealth and actually put together things, they can seize control. See. And we know about the guy who runs China. He's an incredibly fearful person. Incredibly fearful person. He's so afraid of everything that the guy banned Winnie the Pooh. You know, it takes a special kind of soy boy to be afraid of Winnie the Pooh or someone saying you look like Winnie the Pooh and actually putting out a ban on Winnie the Pooh. This just in. Disney stocks plummet as ban of Winnie the Pooh in China. Give me a break. China in May banned financial institutions and payment companies from providing services related to cryptocurrency transactions, similar to bans in 2013 and 2017. Okay, so they already banned it in 2013. Then they banned it in 2017. Then they banned it in 2019. And now they're banning it in 2021. So it's already banned. Nonsense articles. These are little things to try and shake Bitcoin out of people's hands. And the more that cryptocurrency is disseminated amongst the population, right? Even if you have just a little bit, that's a bad thing, and that's a threat to governments and the World Bank. So what they do is they come in and they shake the tree a little bit in the hopes that a lot of these people who just got in will just get spooked and go away and never come back. That is the goal. The repeated prohibitions highlight the challenge of closing loopholes and identifying Bitcoin-related transactions through banks and payment firms, say the support effort. See, nobody is named. This is how you know it's a BS article, right? Nobody is named anywhere. It's just China. China. One of those billion people over there did something and banned crypto. Who? The move comes amid a global cryptocurrency crackdown as governments from Asia to the United States threat that privately operated, highly volatile digital currencies could undermine their control of the financial and monetary systems. Yeah, they're not dumb. because it is. Increase systemic risk, promote financial crime, and hurt investors. So won't somebody please think of the investors? We gotta save them. We gotta save them from Bitcoin. They also worry that mining, the energy-intensive computer process through which Bitcoin and other tokens are created, is hurting global environmental goals. Global environmental goals. Well, whose goals are they? Ain't my goals. Chinese government agencies have repeatedly raised concerns that cryptocurrency speculation could disrupt the country's economic and financial order, being one of Beijing's top priorities. You know what's disrupting the country's economic and financial order? Is that your 160% debt to GDP in China, which is somehow way worse than America. You think America is bad, printing trillions of dollars and a $2 trillion infrastructure bill and this and that? China's like way worse than that. Way worse than that. And all these people that think China's going to be the next superpower, to what? It's going to be the next superpower to go belly up. Okay? China's the guy who's running China is so afraid of everything, he had to ban Winnie the Pooh. Does that sound like a strong country? That sound like a strong country? Analysts say China also sees cryptocurrencies as a threat to its sovereign digital yuan, which is at an advanced pilot stage. Beijing is so hostile to economic freedom, they cannot even tolerate their people participating in what is arguably the most exciting innovation in finance in decades. Top U.S. Republican Senator Pat Toomey tweeted, "Hey, so this guy actually said that. This is the only name that we have in this article. So we know that he said that." While U.S. regulators are closely scrutinizing digital asset risks, they have said it also offers opportunities, including to promote financial inclusion. I don't know exactly what all that means, but they aren't scrutinizing Bitcoin. They aren't scrutinizing Ethereum because they all got paid off in Ethereum by Vitalik Butterfield or whatever. And which is a total, the thing about Ethereum is it is a total security. When it was created, it was a complete security. And whatever's, they don't care because that's how they got paid off. People's Bank of China said cryptocurrencies must not circulate and that overseas exchanges are barred from providing services to China-based investors. Well, there's these things called VPNs. And I'm pretty sure that the China people have them because sometimes I play some video games, like Warcraft, and sometimes you got these bots from China in there. Well, they're not supposed to be in my game. I guess they figured out how to work VPNs. Does that mean maybe someone from China can maybe get on a decentralized exchange and get some Bitcoin? Oh my gosh. But Winnie the Pooh said you can't do that. He said you can't. See how laughable this stuff is, guys? You're going to stop them from getting Bitcoin. Worked out for Nigeria, Brazil, and all these places, right? Where basically in Nigeria, Bitcoin's become their main currency. And it's banned, I think. Good luck with your digital yuan, guys. The government will resolutely clamp down on virtual currency speculation to safeguard people's properties and maintain economic, financial, and social order. China's National Development Reform Commission said it will work to cut off financial support and electricity for mining, which it says spawns risks and hampers carbon neutrality goals. That's funny, and that's how you know that, again, this is a complete psyop hoax, because China doesn't have carbon goals. All of those things, they're a part of the New World Order regime there at the United Nations. And all of these human rights things and all of the environmental things and all of these disarmament things that everybody agrees on in the UN or whatever they want to do, right? China says votes on it too, but they don't have to participate in it. Okay? They don't have to actually participate in the green energy thing or anything like that. Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency, dropped more than 9% before repairing those losses. It was down 6.6%. Yeah, crypto exchanges OKX and Hubui, which originated in China and are now based overseas, are likely to be the worst affected. Yeah, they're the ones that apparently shut off. And whatever. I mean, you look at like 3 a.m., it's 3 a.m. United States time, but for them it's probably like the middle of the day. The losers in all of this are plainly the Chinese, said Christopher Bendikins, another guy who is named. They will lose around $6 billion worth of annual mining revenue. Well, they already lost that. All of which will now flow into the remaining global mining regions, he added. It's probably more than $6 billion. And yeah, good. You know, the guy, Winnie the Pooh, wants to run the country into the ground. You know, his China country, and, you know, good. That country could really use some destabilization and breaking down to get rid of their little regime. That would probably be a good thing. And, you know, step one is, you know, banning cryptocurrency, because then China won't have the money to do anything in the world scene anymore. Right? They won't have anything. And it's going to be like El Salvador and Brazil and, you know, all these Central American countries. They're all going to be the new financial system. Right? And China's going to go back to being China. It'll go back to being, China will guarantee, mark my words, China's going to go back to where it was in 1980. All right? And if people want to say that China is going to be the next superpower, and, ooh, what's China going to do this? What's China going to do that? I mean, other than edit our crappy movies that Hollywood is putting out, what are they going to do? The second that people stop buying garbage, right? Because inflation is too high and they can barely afford to put food on their table. What do you think is going to happen to China, who's got 160% their debt GDP? What do you think is going to happen to that country? It's going to go belly up. And then it's going to go right back to 1980 for them. Who are they going to sell their G.I. Joes to? Who are they going to sell the lollipops to? The chip manufacturing that people actually need comes out of Hong Kong and Taiwan. So what are you going to do? I'm kind of tired of China FUD, but it's, when you've been in crypto for a long enough time, it's just kind of funny. Again, this morning when the markets went down, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and nobody really knows what happened. But okay, something in Asia happened, Evergrande or whatever, or something else, and it wasn't even Evergrande. There was some speculation that Evergrande couldn't pay their bills, which they can't, right? But no, it turns out that there's a fake story about China banning crypto again. Don't fall for this stuff, guys. Don't fall for this stuff. And, you know, these things aren't predictable, of course. They can happen at any time. And, you know, if you're a person who wants to try and safeguard your assets a little bit, as we come into the final quarter, which, you know, I don't know if we're going to hit 100,000, 200,000, or all of these wild expectations, you know, or 80,000, which is where I'd kind of see things going. But there will be a quick rise. This is where like all the profits are made in this last quarter, and it will be volatile. You'll get like 10% up, 15% up, next day 8% down, or 12% down. And it's a good idea to figure out how to, if you want to do stop losses and, you know, worry about your tax problems later. And then you don't have to worry about this stuff. Something happens, something goes bump in the night in China, and Winnie the Pooh wants to say something. Well, it doesn't matter because you have a stop loss. But again, things move very fast in crypto. Right? You don't want to have a stop loss if you won't be able to get on the market and rebuy back your stuff within a reasonable amount of time. You know, a couple of hours or so. You don't want to let that. You don't want to set your stop loss and go on vacation. It's not a. You're not going to have any crypto, right? Right. So that's what we have with that. kind of sort of a non-story, but it is the big deal in what's going on today. Kind of testing out a new arrangement that I have set up. And so, guys, with that, I guess check out my Twitter, check out those stop loss videos, and we'll see you next time. Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe, and comment, and do all this stuff if you made it this far. With that, we're gonna be out of here.